Every night, without fail, I wake up drenched in sweat, the remnants of my nightmares clinging to the edges of my consciousness. To cope, I began documenting them in a tattered notebook, hoping the act of writing would exorcise them from my mind. But last Tuesday, something changed. I flipped through the notebook and found pages filled with stories I didn't remember writing, chilling tales of events that had yet to come. Curiosity quickly turned to dread as I realized each story depicted a future catastrophe with haunting accuracy. The first story foretold a car crash at the intersection near my home. The details were unnervingly specific: the screech of tires, shattered glass, and a child's anguished cries. 2 days later, I watched in horror as the scene unfolded exactly as described. I was paralyzed by the realization that the notebook was no longer just a diary of dreams, it was a harbinger of doom. I tried to ignore it, hoping it was a fluke, a twisted trick of my tired mind. But every night, new entries appeared, each more terrifying and detailed than the last. The stories became increasingly personal. One depicted a fire engulfing my workplace, colleagues screaming for help as flames licked the ceiling. I couldn't shake the dread as I sat at my desk, eyes starting to the smoke alarm, waiting for it to wail. The next morning, the building was evacuated due to an electrical fault. It was the closest brush yet, and I began to suspect the notebook was not just predicting events but somehow causing them. My hands shook as I hesitantly flipped to the last entry. The latest story was about me. It described a shadowy figure watching from the corner of my room, waiting for the moment I would realize it was there. I felt a chill run down my spine as I read the last line: "He knows you're reading this right now." I slammed the notebook shut, heart pounding, and glanced at the corner where the shadows seemed to thicken. The fear was suffocating, and I knew then that the notebook wasn't just a passive observer, it was a sinister force, weaving itself into the fabric of my life, waiting for its final act.